Hi, Statesman Nation. Welcome to another edition of Inside the Playbook. We are here in beautiful Penn Central Mall in the Oskaloosa News Studio. So once again, thank you to Ken and Ginger also for allowing us to host our weekly show in here. Guys, crossover season, we're going to start talking about winter sports. So let's talk about a few of the last week, and then later on down the road we can start talking about winter as well. But come right out of the gate and let's talk about a nice Saturday of football and soccer. Starting with football, rough first half, but the guys turned it around. I'm sure there was a spirited conversation at halftime, and they took care of business, beating the Yellow Jackets 53-24, shut them out 33-0 in the second half. Running as we do all the time, 433 yards. Ben Sherman had a huge game, 183 and 2 touchdowns. Tommy Imbu with 116 and 3 touchdowns. And we were +4 in the turnover battle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's all I got.
Yeah, that first half, it's homecoming. Everybody's kind of jazzed up. There's a lot of energy, a lot of people. And, Graceland, they're not the greatest football team out there. So I think maybe they were a little too amped up a little bit, and Graceland just kind of went out there. They started moving the ball well, but in the second half, like you said, everything kind of changed. We got back to playing Statesman football, and that's just smash mouth football, playing good on defense, running the ball well, some good defensive plays, including a pick six from?
Yeah, it's Colton Horak, yeah, 82-yard pick six, yeah.
Yeah, so, really just a good win for them, and, now they're back to 500 and ready to go into this final set of games.
Yeah, we were working men's soccer during the first half, so all we could hear was the Graceland coaches going crazy when they scored in that first half. But second half was much better, and talked to Coach Norberg down the field. He said he wanted his team to respond defensively, and boy, did they ever in that second half. And if you didn't see that Ben Sherman run, go watch the highlights.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
We really should, in case you missed it type thing for that, because that was an amazing 49-yard run. Unfortunately, he didn't finish it off. He got tackled at the quarter-yard line.
Yeah, it was
I know.
He was almost in. Anyway,
yeah. It's
throwing people off of him.
Oh, yeah, he literally just stiff-armed the guy, and, big stiff-arm. So, great 1-0 start. Got to be happy with it, and now you got Grandview next for the Rock and Ladder Trophy, and, keeping the season alive. So, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Women's volleyball.
Yeah, they went down south to play Mid-American Nazarene last Thursday. It was the first time these two teams have met. Unfortunately, they came out on the wrong side of a 3-1 score. But honestly, if you look at this game on the stat sheet, it was so close.
Right.
You would think that this game was a 5-setter that went down to the wire. The Statesmen dropped the first set 25-22, but responded with really a big 29-27 victory. It showed a lot of grit in that set. Unfortunately, set 3 slipped away after they held a 19-15 lead late, but the Mid-America really got hot, and they went on a 10-4 run to take the set. The ladies managed to keep the fourth set pretty close, but they continually found themselves playing catch-up. They would just get there, and then just Mid-America would regain the momentum. Mid-America out-hit us 173-162, so that just kind of showcases how close it really
tight,
was.
yeah.
There was just a couple kills there that really was the difference in the ball game. Phoebe Jaquez, she had a strong outing. She led her team with 16 while she had a 273 clip. Libby Zorn and Dan Pinzinski both finished with 10 kills. Annalise Whitcomb, she handled the setting duties for the most part. She had 21 assists and 10 digs. She's really become just a double-doubles machine as of late, especially here down. Really good to see from her. Cameron Campbell, once again, 36 digs. She's been playing at an unbelievably high level as of late, and Casey Gakusana finished with 20 digs. So the defense really was the story of this match for the Statesmen. I thought the defense really played well. So many people got involved. There was 12 different players that recorded the dig. That's just unheard of. People were just they were in places where they needed to be and not letting many balls hit the ground. Unfortunately they came out with the loss, but there's a lot of good things to take away from that ball game.
Yeah, definitely. That's a solid Mid-Am team that is a year older. They were really young last year and surprised some teams, and for whatever reason they were ranked really low in the preseason poll, but they've shown that they're one of the top teams in the league, and going down there is not an easy trip by any stretch, and gave them a good fight, just came up short. So
yeah, and fast forward to Tuesday, where we we took on Clark. Clark, a very, very good team. Coach Cleaver, has reiterated to me a few times about how well she thinks that we match up with them, and really we matched up with them really well, I thought.
Yeah.
The first time we played them, we were swept, but we were also down a couple of key players. This time we were at full strength. We came out really strong, winning the first set 25-15, probably one of the best sets that we put together all year. We had a strong defensive presence that first set. Clark hit a 0-0.
Yeah.
So that was really good to see. We found ourselves down 10-9 and in the first set, and then we ended up scoring 12 in the next 14 points, and that was pretty dominant.
Just
in the
rolled
first
from
half.
there, yeah.
And then following set, lost 25-20, but returned to take set 3, 25-23. The third set was the strongest of the night for the Statesmen. On the offensive end, we hit a 341. Everything was starting to click, but then the Pride offensive attack really just came alive, and we ended up dropping the fourth and fifth sets, 25-13 and 15-7. So unfortunate loss, but once again, like those first couple of sets, there's a lot of good things to take away. And unfortunately, we were out hit 217 to 171. Corinne Lepper, she finished with 16 kills, had a 233 clip. She's continuing her strong sophomore campaign. Annalise Wincott, once again, another double-double, 26 assists, and she also had 16 digs. She's just really doing it all on both sides of the ball. Cameron Campbell, another 36 digs, and Casey Gakusana once again with 10 digs. Those two have continually been in double-digit digs every night in and night out. Just a note about Cameron Campbell, she's now the 2-time Heart of America Defensive Player of the Week.
Yep.
She's collected 552 total digs this season, which ranks 11th nationally, and her 5.1 digs per game ranks inside the top 45 now. So she's putting together a great first year for the Statesmen. And it was nice to see Hannah Williams get in the mix on the defensive end for the Statesmen. She had seven blocks in that game, so something to build off of for her.
Yeah, she's stepping up nicely. It's nice to see that some of these freshmen, you got Cecily Lippard returning as well. You could tell how important she is in that back line to be able to mix it up and everything. Cameron Campbell, I think it was early second set, I looked at her stats, and I'm like, well, she already has 20 digs. She was averaging 14 a set, and then they found a way to get around her, but she was everywhere early on and giving us a chance. And unfortunately, a team that you need to beat to keep your postseason chance alive. And Clark's a strong team. They're second in the North for a reason. So just a lot of different weapons. I don't think there's anybody you can just key up on, and they just found enough ways to score points. So
yeah, but definitely. I haven't watched all the games, but of all the home games that I've been able to broadcast, that one looked like the Statesmen had some of the best ball movement, especially those first and third sets. It just seemed to really gel and find the right person to hit it, and I was pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, moving on. Women's soccer.
Right, they took on Graceland on Saturday for homecoming, and it turned out to be the only loss on homecoming, which is a bit of a bummer because it could have been much closer. 4-1 loss at the end of the day. Another Saturday where there was a lot of rain and weather that played into it. Not as much wind, but still not ideal playing conditions. And the Statesmen could have made that scoreline better. Caitlin Fellaini looked really good, and for the first time in a number of contests, they were able to finally get the ball up to her and through the defensive line, which some games it had worked, some games it hadn't. But she had 3 chances, 1 on goalie, and credit to the Yellow Jacket keeper for keeping her off the scoreboard. But she had a few chances to bury it, and if you get a couple of those goals on the board, all of a sudden it's a 1-goal difference instead of a 3-goal difference. Iris Navarro eventually scores the only goal for the Statesmen on a PK kick to make the score 4-1. But you can also take some of that scoreline with a bit of salt because both Lillian Cougar-Fountain and Zoe Ganley in the second half within the first 5 to 10 minutes took an injury and had to leave. So that's 2 key players on your defensive side that are now gone. And that will hurt your team regardless of how good your subs are or not when your 2 starters that play almost the whole game, every game, aren't back there to help defend. So a valiant effort. And again, if somehow the Yellow Jacket keeper doesn't get off her line in time, you're looking at maybe a 4-3 game, maybe a 3-3, 4-4.
Well, it could have totally changed the complexity. That's what I was going to say. Complexion of the game, whatever it is, you know what I was looking for. Of that game could have been totally different. We could have had the lead, and then now they're pressing, and maybe they make some mistakes, etc. But instead, they took the lead, and we were chasing from there. So came up a bit short. Men's soccer, if you don't, are good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to switch over here. Men's soccer, then finishing off. That doubleheader against Graceland, taking down the Yellow Jackets 5-0. That's a solid middle of the road Graceland team. They'd performed well against some teams, but we just dominated as we've been doing all year. So 25-8 shot tally. Eduardo Bonato, right?
Right.
Two goals. He's now 1 away from the school record for a guy that I think came into his senior year with like 5 goals, and he just didn't score the first couple of years. And he's all about it now. He's finding the back of the net. So you got a couple goals. Ethan Martinez, Jonathan Riley, and Steve Avalar also scored. Donnie Messina with a couple assists, and the team wins yet again, 13-3, 8-1 in the conference, and they're ranked in the top 10 for the first time ever in school history. So, side note, they're numbers 10 in the coaches poll, number 18 in the RPI that just came out, which is the more true indication of who you are, strength of schedule, and all of that. So down a little bit, but still definitely obviously considered one of the best teams in the league, in the nation. Excuse me.
Yeah. Once again, this team just continues to take care of business. You mentioned, Eduardo Bonato getting into the mix this year, scoring goals. And I just think it's a testament to how just aggressive this team has been, and really they've been so aggressive on both sides of the ball, and really just taking it to these opponents, and just really putting it all together. And it's been such a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, I don't quite remember the shot total for Graceland in the second half, but I'm pretty sure it was Statesman a lot and Graceland like 1 or 2
very few
in the second half. And this time it was good to see that they didn't let Graceland score. A couple of those games, the last couple, we had conceded first and you're playing from behind. This time it was nope, pedal down, get them done. And good to see a couple of the D guys, Riley and Avalar, get a goal. They normally don't show up on the score sheet, especially as defenders, but great to see them notch something on their scorebook.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was just only one game of the weekend, and now a full week of break until you get Evangel this weekend. And just nice that you took care of business. That's all you got to do at this point. Just win. I mean, basically, you control your own destiny. You win, you get the nationals, and that's what the guys are doing. They eye on the prize, and they're moving forward. So, all right, you finish up here with golf and bowling.
Right, so women's golf, due to some issues on the home front, could not send a full team down to the Hart Preview Tournament at Osage down in the Ozarks of Missouri, but they did send the two seniors, Brittany Evans and Alexis Guimarães, and both had great results. Guimarães came in 4th out of 20 players.
I think it's 20 even.
Yeah, 20 even. 87 and an 84 gives her 171, so certainly that could come down some, but still 4th. That's a great placement for her because she had a couple holes, double bogeys or whatever. So I'm sure next time out, now that she knows the course, she can polish those off and shave a few strokes off. Brittany Evans, again, taking her 2nd event in a row in terms of individual prizes. A 78 and a 76 for a grand total of 154. And she was only 2 strokes over on the front 9. Total for both days.
Wow.
So the links course, because it's 3 9-hole courses.
Yep. And
the links course, she absolutely was in complete control of. The river one, which I assume that runs right along a river, so I assume means presented a few more challenges, but still, now that she's seen it, that will definitely come down some for the Hart tournament. And great to see that, despite not being able to see what a full team score would look like, if you have 2 of your top golfers already dominating most of the field and beating the good golfer from Grandview,
Kerrigan. Carly Kerrigan.
Yeah, and beating her by 7 strokes, that's a great sign for this team for their spring season.
Yeah, I mean, you got 2 of the best teams outside of us, Baker and Grandview there, and I mean, we're 1st and 4th. You don't know what the other 3 individuals would have done, but you figure you'd be in good position to take care of those 2. Mount Mercy is about the only other team that's at all sniffing near the top. So I think you're setting yourself up nicely for what you expect to happen next April.
Yeah, so positive results there. And then bowling at the Columbia 300 Western Shootout over in Indianapolis. The men come home with their first top 10 of the year, finishing 8th with a total score of 8,935 pins. Logan Mason was 37th, the top score for the Statesman, with a 201 pin average, a 224 individual game high. And it was kind of one of those interesting games where in terms of individual placement, the Statesmen weren't all that high.
Right.
I mean, 37th, you're like, that's not really that high. There was 300, I think, individual. So if you compare it to that, well, that's actually pretty good. But the team score is the thing that drove this team to success. So even though you're not seeing a guy take the individual prize, a great team effort by all of them. Most everyone had a close to 200 average. Cook had an average of 198. Kostrix had 197s. Freese had 188. Both Kostrix got team highs at 266 and 277. So they had a couple games where they absolutely destroyed those pins down the lane. So pretty good, promising result for the men. Well, on the women's side, they bested their male counterparts. They finished 4th with a grand total of 8,261 pins. A few less teams, a few less bowlers on the women's side, but still a great result. The second time out for this team. Nicole Kraft finished 8th, her second top 10 in a row. A 192.5 average. Also paced the team with a single game high of 244. So, again, fantastic work from her. Bailey Palmer was 11th, just missed the top 10 by, I think it was 1 or 2 pins based on average. She was at a 187.7. I think it was 188 or 189 for 10th. So strong result for her, 219 high. Kayla Gifford was 17th with a 183. Alexis Lake, a freshman, a 171 average and got a individual high of 239. Nicole Maudier, 169 average, and Gabby Evans, 170. So overall, not a lot of low scores. All the averages pretty close, which shows that this team is really strong top to bottom, and just another good result for his team that Coach Brooks is pretty high on.
Yeah, they're, like we said before, the women's team, take nothing away from the men, but the women, I think, are looked at to excel at a higher level this year. They are very senior laden, and this is going to be a squad that you expect a lot of top 5, top 10s out of this year. If they're not in there, they're going to be very disappointed and keep on showing it against strong competition. So some great schools at these events, and the individual winners were ridiculous. If you look at their scores, they were like 210 averages or 220 or something. Yeah, they always pop off somebody. Somebody just has a big day for sure. Again,
both sides, it shows that the Statesmen have a better complete squad because their team score is in that running for best, despite having individuals on our teams that are bowling the lights out. They're still front running, trying to get into that podium position.
Yep, definitely. Alrighty, I think we've recapped everything. So when we come back, we'll talk about the previews in a few minutes. But before we do that, we've got a couple awesome segments coming up with some seniors, as this is our Senior Day special. So when we come back, we'll sit down with a few of those awesome student athletes. You're inside the playbook.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities, to be involved, to make a difference on campus.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you. It gets more effort out of you because you appreciate what they do.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
William Penn gives me the freedom to be who I am now and the tools for who I want to be.
Diversity runs deep at William Penn.
Not only in the student body, which is made up of people from all over the world,
but also in the diverse opportunities for hands-on learning.
The equipment you get to use is legit. The experiences here will help me get a job when I graduate.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
William Penn University. Make a statement, be a statesman.
Oskaloosa. It's our community, and we're thankful to be a part of it. Telling its stories, sharing its smiles. We're building community. keeping you informed, giving you a voice, letting you know you're never alone during the victories and the losses, happiness and pain. For tomorrow's a new day, and we'll be there, working for you, ready to tell your story. That's our commitment. It's what we do, now and in the future, because we're always on. We're Oskaloosa News.
Segment, Casey Gakusana of the women's volleyball team, Charles Nelson of the football team, and Terry Jackson of the men's cross country team. So, all right, we're just going to be spitballing, flying all over the place here. So, if I'm looking at you, I'm asking you a question. So, all right, Terry, you're from Houston, Alaska, 4-year individual here at William Penn. Talk about entering college. What were your expectations coming in, and maybe how did they change as you realized, hey, this is now collegiate running, so it's obviously a little bit different?
So I wasn't really sure what I was expecting coming into college. Knew there was going to be a lot of stronger competition than there was back home. So the shift from, easy runs, messing around, not taking it seriously, is a major part of that first year. Just growing in, helping make sure incoming freshmen understood the same thing. Classes weren't what I expected. Thought big classes, expected a lot more than 20, 30 people, which I really appreciated being small.
Right.
Wouldn't change it.
Yeah. All right. Casey, all right, you're from Hawaii, KL, Hawaii. Why'd you come to William Penn? Like, why like, not why William Penn? Why Iowa, I should say.
Iowa?
Why the Midwest? Why not stay on the beaches?
Well, I thought, since living there my whole entire life, something different, and I thought, I literally said, why not Iowa in the middle? So try something new, something different. So, oh yes.
Yeah, we'll have you all talk up, like, be excited that you're in here.
Talking really loud. I don't want to
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, why not Iowa? Sure. Okay. All right, Charles. Got one of the best beards on campus, man. I mean, I'd love to emulate it. Trying. My wife also wouldn't let me have that big of a beard. So, all right. Why did you decide to go beard, and why so long? And have you caught any flack from mom and dad from it or anything like that?
Well, I don't know. I really just like it.
Yeah.
I feel like it fits me.
It works, man.
And it's just kind of just become who I am.
Right.
It's part of me. I've joked about shaving the night before graduation to shock everybody.
Right.
But I don't think I'll do that. It'd be kind of too much for me all at once, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mom, she likes it, but she does want me to cut it down quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
just a little bit. She's like, no, you're gonna have to be a professional someday. Like.
One of these days.
Yeah, be that guy. So, all right, I'm going to stick with you for a second since you brought it up. Professional, future plans, as we're going to talk about this with all you guys since you're seniors. But future plans, I mean, you want to be a teacher, correct?
Right, yeah.
So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to school to be an elementary teacher.
Okay.
My ideal grade is first, second, or third is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So sticking younger. And I started off wanting to do high school. And then I spent a day in an elementary classroom, and I just fell in love with it, and I'm glad I switched, and I never want to go back.
Well, heck, your beard's going to be, you keep it growing out, so your beard's going to be bigger than some of those kids. So how has sports prepared you to become a teacher? How is football and, the teamwork and all of that, and now you're, a leader, you're, a starter and a leader and all of that. How is that going to, I think, prepare you to become, go into your profession?
I think it's definitely taught me how to work hard. Going into the field, I wasn't expecting what it is now.
Right.
There's a lot more work. There's a lot more understanding of how people learn and stuff like that, technical stuff. And I think from football, I've learned just you have to be dedicated. You have to be bought in completely. And if you're not going to be the best you can be.
Right.
And the thing that I've learned about it the most is the amount that you're prepared is only the best that you can make your students be.
Right.
So the better you are now, and will be the better you are down the road. So it'll help your students out so much more.
For sure, sure. All right, Casey, back to you. You had a coaching change. You're one of the only ones, actually, I think that we're talking to today that had a coaching change mid-career like this, going from, Jenny.
Words.
I just forgot. Yeah, I need words. Going from Jenny to Alicia. Talk about how, that's perfect, good job, how that had impacted you and, in going through that transition.
I think our old coach, she kind of was like, I really liked her coaching,
Style.
Yeah, background
It's
style.
words.
Words again. But I think now this coach, she's more, I want to say words. Just get to the point. You know what I'm saying? She's more, obviously you could tell, more active and just in with it and in with the girls and so I thought it was a good change. So
yeah, that I guess problematic knowing, hey man, I was so used to that, and now I've got to figure it all out again, and nobody likes change. Let's be honest, and so you got to do this now for your last 2 years, and especially your last 2 years being now you're supposed to be a leader and everything, being an upperclassman.
Yeah, it definitely was a shocker. We actually, some of us girls didn't see it coming until we got that meeting and whatnot. But I don't think it was I didn't see it as oh, so now we have to switch all these gears, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was more of a okay, this is going to be exciting, new coaching style, new, I want to say,
new culture.
Yeah,
just
new culture,
different.
Yes,
yeah, something different.
Something
right?
different. So it was more of a exciting challenge instead of oh, now we have to change everything and so it was more exciting than
cool.
anything,
Okay.
so.
Very cool. All right, Terry, you guys are doing a really good job of moving that mic, so let's keep doing that. That's awesome. All right, senior, last go around here. What legacy do you want to leave here for the William Penn cross country program? All right, everybody always says I want to leave it in a better position than I came into. How are you doing that?
Definitely. I mean, helping freshmen with little things that I picked up in college, because a lot of them came with more experience than I have even now. So just the adjustments I've noticed from college, the things I was told coming in as a freshman, continuing, I guess, the legacy that the seniors left before, making it being as much help as I can while still, letting them be the runners that they already are. Just looking to move up in conference.
Right. Okay. Finish off you here before we get into a really quick set of questions. But future plans for yourself? Back to Alaska, staying in Iowa, trying some completely different area?
Yeah, it's up in the air right now.
Okay.
It's not looking like Alaska though. We're looking to stay down here, explore, just do anything wildlife biology related, conservation, whatever.
Okay. Very cool. All right, Casey, back to
Thanks.
make sure I got this. Okay. Legacy you want to leave?
Just kind of like what Terry said. So, kind of keeping that, that hardworking motivation kind of type vibe with us seniors, and trying to just help the freshmen out and the younger ones, and kind of like I said, like what Terry said, keep that.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely. All right, and Charles, you're going to get a totally different question here, being that you're you got the big game. Not to say anybody else's games aren't big, not saying that, but big game, the Rock and Ladder Trophy coming up against Grandview. What are you guys seeing on Grandview, and how are you going to beat the Vikings? Because they look not unstoppable. Not going to say that, but they look pretty tough.
Right. I mean, it's Grandview week. It's always an important week. In practice, everybody's excited and ready to go and ready to play. Tuesday when we start. But I think the biggest thing is that we're still focused in practice, and we're using energy in a good way to not get distracted. As far as the game plan goes, it's going to be a typical Statesman football game. We're gonna line up on offense, and we're gonna run it as hard as we can at you, and
right.
You have to do your best to stop us. And our defense has been playing great. I think if we come out how we did the second half, of last week against Graceland and the 2 weeks before against Mill Valley, I think we'll have a great game on Saturday with us on top.
Yeah, I always say that a rivalry game, you can throw all of the odds out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, both teams, there's going to be plenty of emotion going on there. So,
Sure.
it could be anybody's ball game. So, best of luck. All right, we're going to just jump around here, guys. So, we've got the Furious Four. You can thank Jared for this one. We've had the questions, but he said Furious Four. This sounds cool, so we're going to go with it. I think all of you guys actually have done the Statesman Pick 6 or some variation of that, but this is a little bit different. So they picked 4 numbers, and it correlates to these questions here. And I'm going to hopefully not get totally lost on who I'm talking to. But all right, Casey, number 4. Who's your favorite athlete? Your favorite athlete, professional athlete. It could be your teammate is your favorite athlete. I don't know.
Ooh, my favorate athlete.
You can't say Rashawn Coleman. You can't make his head any bigger than it is. He won't be able to walk through a door.
Honestly, I really don't have one. But
Okay.
I really do look up to Rashawn Coleman. Like he's definitely a good motivator, and he really works really hard in and out. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll let you have that one. That's fine. You can have it. All right.
That kind of question.
It'll work. All right, Terry. Number 5. If you could have dinner with any 2 people, past, present, living, dead, whatever, who would they be?
Honestly, probably Austin DeSanto. He wrestles for Iowa.
Okay.
And I don't know anybody else.
Family members that maybe a grandpa or something that you never got to meet that you've heard all these great stories of.
Yeah, probably my grandpa I'm named after.
Okay.
Would be a good one, I think.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Charles, number 7. Your favorite flavor of ice cream? Yeah, I know you. Yeah, he gets the easy one, right?
I'm lucky. I'd say my favorite's chocolate chip cookie dough.
Okay.
That's always a good one to go to.
This is such a generational thing. I can't believe how many people that I've interviewed the last month or so have said cookie dough or some variation of that. And I'm just like, that's obviously what you guys like. And then go with it. Okay. Terry, number 11, your favorite sports team?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. So maybe
obviously
part of the reason why you
outside-
moved to Iowa, so you
outside
could be
of the
close to
statesman.
Kansas City.
Outside
Yes,
of the
outside of the
statesman,
statesman, of course. Okay. Charles, number 18, your all-time favorite movie?
Oh, man. I'd say it's close between Rocky 3 and Rocky 4.
Okay.
Those are greats.
They are
I love
greats.
'em.
Rocky 4, I don't think gets as much attention as it should. I don't
Mhm.
know, for some reason I love that movie. Like, I think that's the best of the whole series. But
I think they're all on Netflix too.
okay, I guess
Yeah.
I know what I'm watching
Watched 'em a
tonight. All
couple
right. Okay. Casey, number 8. What's your favorite restaurant?
Ooh, my favorite restaurant is.
It can be here or back home.
I know,
Like
I'm
if-
trying to think.
Okay.
There's really good ones back at home. I'm gonna have to go with Cahill Grill.
Okay. Kahua Grill.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything
Can't
special
get-
about it?
I really like their fried rice.
Okay.
It's really good.
All right.
Yeah.
Go with it. Okay. I'm gonna stick with you for a second. Number 3. Favorite thing about this women's volleyball program?
Favorite thing about this program? I think there's a lot of good things about it, but the most I think is that I get to play with my former teammate from back at home, which is Tanaya.
Yep.
I think that's the most, because
There
like
you-
that's like who would have known, that she comes here from,
Yeah.
she came here from all the way to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So
Well, and
think
she
it's
left and came back, so she must have missed
Right.
you, right?
Exactly.
You're very special, and she couldn't stay away. All right, Charles, number 22. What are you listening to right now?
Right now, it's kind of an odd mix between Van Halen and Frank Sinatra, if that's
Wow,
such a
that
thing.
is, yeah. I
Just
don't know how you
completely
could
different,
marry
but-
those two together. Those are
Mhm.
totally different genres, but that's very cool. Little Frank before the Grandview game to get you pumped up.
Just a little bit, calm
Okay.
down, relax, and get ready to go.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not cranking up Frank to get pumped up, but could be wrong. All right, Terry, number 13. Your favorite type of food?
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake. Any kind of cheesecake or just straight?
Any kind of cheesecake.
So.
Nice.
So Cheesecake Factory would be your answer to number whatever it was, 8 would be Cheesecake Factory would be your favorite restaurant. Okay. All right. I'm going to finish off with you then. 34. Your favorite thing about your sport?
The people. You get a lot closer to people you didn't realize you're going to when you go on a 10-mile run or whatever. Right. Talk to this kid 3 times outside of practice, but you run. You get to know a lot about everybody.
Yeah, I heard that. You guys just talk random things. I mean, what else are you going to do for 10 miles or whatever? I mean, yeah. Yeah, very cool. All right, Casey, number 12, dream vacation.
Dream vacation.
You already come from the dream vacation, so I don't know how you can answer this one.
I think my dream vacation, we would have to go back to that Bora Bora.
Bora Bora?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, have you already answered this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't a dream vacation. I think it was just my
place you want most likely
yeah,
to visit?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Bora Bora is still a good answer.
Yes.
I'll let you have it. Okay. All right, Charles, finally, number 30. If money were no object and you could not be a professional athlete, what would your dream job be?
Oh boy, that's a tough one.
You can say teacher if you have to.
Yeah,
I mean, you can live the dream. It's really okay to live the dream.
I really enjoy teaching, but I think what I'm most looking forward to is the coaching part of that.
Okay.
Look to go coach football back
Right.
home. Hopefully get to coach my younger brothers.
Cool.
I think that'll be a fun experience. But I think that's what I do.
Okay, very cool. All right, guys. I think we're done. You guys all did shout-outs probably back in the day, so you can say hi to anybody else, too. I mean, you got the camera right over your right shoulder, but you just want to wave hi and say, hey,
Hi,
see you guys soon.
Love you.
Awesome. All right, one more time. Terry Jackson of the men's cross-country team from Houston, Alaska. Casey Gakusana from Keio, Hawaii from the women's volleyball team. And Charles Nelson from Jefferson City, Missouri on the football team. So we come back, we're going to do this again, but with 2 new student athletes. You are inside the playbook.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities, to be involved, to make a difference on campus.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you. It gets more effort out of you because you appreciate what they do.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
William Penn gives me the freedom to be who I am now and the tools for who I want to be.
Diversity runs deep at William Penn.
Not only in the student body, which is made up of people from all over the world,
but also in the diverse opportunities for hands-on learning.
The equipment you get to use is legit. The experiences here will help me get a job when I graduate.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
William Penn University. Make a statement, be a statesman.
Oskaloosa. It's our community, and we're thankful to be a part of it. Telling its stories, sharing its smiles. We're building community, keeping you informed, giving you a voice, letting you know you're never alone during the victories and the losses, happiness and pain. For tomorrow's a new day, and we'll be there, working for you, ready to tell your story. That's our commitment. It's what we do, now and in the future, because we're always on. We're Oskaloosa News.
Welcome back, Statesman Nation. We have a couple of soccer players now in the studio. We're joined now by Donnie Messina from Inglewood, California. LA, right? However you guys do your thing. That, yeah. And then also from the men's soccer team, sorry if I didn't mention that. And then Riley Ludwig from Big Bear City, California on the women's soccer team. So, all right, guys. Again, just like the first segment, we're going to jump around a little bit, and if I'm looking at you, I'm basically asking you a question. So, all right, Donnie, we'll start with you. transferring from California to Iowa. Talk about making that transition to the Midwest. I mean, do you want to go to the Midwest, or what? I guess it's a two-part question. What kind of sold you on the Midwest, and what kind of sold you on William Penn?
Well, growing up in California, there's a lot of great soccer and competitive soccer there. Well, Jamie came to one of our practices at my JUCO, and he liked the way I played, liked the way a couple of our teammates here also at Penn played, which ended up coming from the same JUCO as I did. And when we came on our official visit, like, obviously it's not California.
Right.
Yes,
it's not.
It's Oskaloosa, Iowa. So, like, we're getting a complete, like, change in the way we were brought up.
Right.
But what really sold us on Iowa, I like to say the vision we saw Jamie tell us. He wanted us to come in and just change, like, the way we played the game, like, change the way Penn played the game and give it some more, like, he said he wanted some men, but we came in and obviously we had a really good last season. We came in and just destroyed pretty much a lot of competition, and we broke a lot of records. And our season, unfortunately, we didn't end up at nationals, but it was still one for the books as we broke a couple records. And like, I'll say Jamie's vision on what he wanted us to come in and do really sold us on Iowa. Yeah.
You keep on saying we a lot. So how much was it that, all right, you, and I'll fill everybody in, Luis Amasquita and Steve Avalar, you guys all coming from LA Harbor. How much was it that, hey, we're going to the same place, like, we want to continue playing together? Or was it that it just worked out that you guys were all end up being sold on William Penn, or was it trying to stay as a package?
Well, we all had a couple offers to go to different schools, but we didn't really want to go with just by ourselves and not really know anybody there. We wanted to at least have people we know there, just to be more comfortable in a sort of way. So we all decided just, like, and we liked what Jamie's told us as well on wanting to come here and change, like, our level of play. Right. So we all decided just to come here and just change the game.
Got a good package out of it. I like it. It worked. Okay, 3 defenders too, which is totally changed our back line. All right, Riley. Unfortunately, you've dealt with quite a few injuries. One very big one before last year. But talk about not so much on the injury side, but what you learned from the injuries. That hey, they made me a better person. All of that. It's cliche stuff, but you had to actually deal with it, and
it's definitely a setback and does a lot to you mentally, physically, all that. But it's a motivation to just get back and get right, be able to play again. And I don't know, it's sad to be out, but yeah, it's nice for when you do come back. And I'm glad I got to play at least a couple games this season and be able to play my last 2 as well. Yeah.
How much did it prove to you, like, what you're capable of?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I didn't think that I could come back as good as I was, but I believe, like, I came back decent enough. Didn't really lose anything. And yeah, it did a lot to me, but then again, like, I gained a lot as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, totally switching gears on this, but talking about as a goalkeeper, it's a very difficult position. I mean, I'm just going to say the most difficult. Take nothing. Don't get mad about that, Donnie. But the goalkeeper, all the pressure's on you. In the end, if you don't stop the ball, the goal goes on you. It doesn't go on anybody else. Why did you decide to become a keeper? And you're a very aggressive keeper, as good keepers have to be. When did you just learn, I know I'm aggressive, so I know I can be a good keeper, or I'm a goalkeeper and now I have to become aggressive? What chicken and the egg, which one came first?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I did play on the field a little bit too, and I was aggressive on the field. So moving into the goal, I didn't lose any of my aggression. It was easier to be aggressive because you don't get as many fouls or yellow cards like that. It's easier to just body up. But yeah, I started playing goalkeeper when I was like 10 years old. I just got thrown in the goal because we didn't have one, and then since then I've been a goalkeeper. But I did play on the field a little bit. But the goal is where I like to play.
Yeah. Well, it fits you well. All right, Donnie, let's talk about that cannon for an arm, man. You are one of the most explosive players in a game because of your arm in a game that's played with your feet. Kind of the same idea. when did you learn that, hey, well, I got a really good arm here, like this can help me out? Or is it just, I mean, when at some point you figured out, wow, I can throw the ball really far?
Yeah, in high school, I was lucky enough to play three sports, but two sports. I played soccer in high school, and a really big one for me was water polo. I played water polo in high school, which is pretty much soccer in the water.
Yeah, a lot of overhand throws.
Yeah, exactly. You use your arms. So after playing water polo a couple years in high school, I kind of like developed a nice little throw, and I just kept working on it, and it came out to be a really big part of our game today.
Yeah,
soccer.
Yeah, for sure. Imagine if you threw a flip in on that.
Right,
You got to work on your
right,
flip. That ball would go on completely to the other side.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
Arms holding up and everything. Good.
Everything's good right now.
Getting older, man. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
Do that forever.
You're right. But yeah, everything's good. My shoulders feel good. I make sure to get treatment on them pretty much after every game, just to make sure, just to prevent injury.
Yeah.
Just to prevent anything that can cause me not to throw in the balls as far.
I was gonna say, as much as everybody else is, working on their knees and ankles and stuff, you're coming in just to work on your shoulders. For sure. All right, Riley, back to you. What are you, as you're closing out your career here, what are you trying to instill, and what have you tried to instill in a very young team? I mean, at times you guys were rocking like 10 freshmen and sophomores in front of you. So.
Yeah. No, I just feel like as a senior, like being looked at as a leader, just making sure that they stay motivated to actually be here for soccer, and just put in that effort every day, because it goes by super quick, and it's gonna be gone in a blink of a second. So just take all those 3-a-day practices, those late night practices, every time you have together, just take the time to appreciate it and just work hard, because winning a game, losing a game, it's soccer, and you are here to play soccer. So
Definitely. All right, you guys are both going to get this question. I'll do Donnie first. Back to you. Future plans. Are we staying in Iowa? Are we going back to LA? We're going to try something new. I don't know with that red hair, man. You can go anywhere. I feel like Hollywood's beckoning you again.
Yeah, man, of course. As of right now, for sure, I'm going back home.
Yep.
Just trying to set my moves right to be able to find a great job that can support me and obviously support hopefully my family in the future.
Right. Any ideas? Are we gonna start you gonna be a mogul or something, or?
Right now, I'm a sports management major, so I will probably talk to my community college coach to see if I can intern with him, just to learn the ropes of just at a JUCO, and then from there work my way up.
Sure. Okay. All right, Riley. Same question. What's the plans? Going back to Cali as well?
No, I don't think California yet is in my future. Well, it's in my future, just not quite yet.
Okay.
But somewhere not in Iowa. We're looking at a couple different states, but not sure. I'm definitely going to get my master's degree.
Okay.
Start applying for those soon.
Master's in?
School psych.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm double major in human services as well, so hopefully I can get a job in the human services department while I'm working on my master's.
Doing that, right.
Yeah. I definitely want to work in a school district, being a school psychologist.
Very cool. Okay. Awesome. Okay, guys. All right. Ready for the Furious Four? I actually have to put up the 4 for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. All right, Riley. First off, number 12, dream vacation.
Dream vacation, Italy.
Italy? Okay. Yeah. Any certain part of Italy, or just?
No, my dad and stepmom went there for their honeymoon. So I've seen pictures and stuff, and I want to go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's so many different parts of Italy. That's why I ask. Like, maybe you want to do Venice. Maybe you want to do way up in the Alps. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Just do it all. Do it all. Okay. Donnie, number 7, favorite flavor of ice cream?
Vanilla.
Okay.
Simple.
All right. Any sprinkles on that? Any syrups? Just vanilla.
Plain vanilla.
Okay. All right. That'll work. Riley, back to you. Number 18, all-time favorite movie?
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls?
I got that.
Oh, that's right. You did have that last time. I remember you saying that because you didn't know what.
The Wednesday, the 18th or something.
The Wednesday, I don't remember what it was. Yeah. Yeah, for it being your favorite movie, you should have known that for sure.
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. All right, Donnie, number 10, what's some advice that you'd give a junior high school kid wanting to play collegiately?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would easily tell him just to make sure he puts in the work. What he puts in is what he will get out of it. Just if he can look up college athletes, you know, at some point they were working when nobody was looking at them. Even when the cameras weren't on them, they're still working.
Right.
So what you put in is what you get out. So just go in the gym, eat, do everything you can to get your body prepared to play collegiate, and like I said,
yeah,
what you put in is what you get out.
Sweet. Okay. All right, number 26, Riley. Who in your life has been the most influential person?
Definitely my mom. She's been by my side through any type of decisions I've made or anything like that, and I always fall back to her for anything I need, which I get to see her tomorrow.
There you go. Sweet. Awesome. All right, back to you, Donnie. Number 11, your favorite sports team?
My favorite sports, Real Madrid.
Okay.
It's a soccer team in Spain.
Yeah. I know some things about soccer. Come on. Give me a little credit. All right. Then finally, Riley, number 30. If money were no object and you couldn't be a professional athlete, what's your dream job?
What I want to be, a school psychologist. Yep. I don't know. I've always wanted to do that ever since I was little. So, I mean, nothing's really changed.
Yeah.
Through my JUCO, through here, I've always had the same major.
Just helping kids out, right?
Yep.
There you go. Sweet. Okay. All right, Donnie, last question for you. Number 29, two-part question. What one activity absolutely terrifies you, and how much money would it take to do it?
One activity that really terrifies me. The shark cage.
Shark cage?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to need $1 million or more because seen a couple movies where the shark cage falls and it's not.
Yeah, don't mess with that. That shark cage, that's not keeping Jaws back for sure, right?
We don't belong in the water.
No, yes. We belong right there along the beach, right?
Yeah,
not in the water.
Right on the sand, not
yes,
in the water.
Exactly. All right, guys. I'm both from California. No, hopefully you're seeing your family. Hopefully, family coming.
My family comes tonight.
Okay, well then, tell them, see them quick. See them soon.
Yeah,
see you guys in a few hours.
Brian, Kevin, Jax.
Oh yeah, you forgot some shout outs last time, so you get everybody this time?
I'm good.
You good? Okay, all right, sweet. Okay, once again, Donnie Messina from Inglewood, California, the men's soccer team, and Riley Ludwig from Big Bear City, California, the women's soccer team. Thank you guys so much. Best of luck the rest of your time here at William Penn. When we come back, Jared and Justin will be back in the seats, and we will preview next week's games.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities, to be involved, to make a difference on campus.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you. It gets more effort out of you because you appreciate what they do.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
William Penn gives me the freedom to be who I am now and the tools for who I want to be.
Diversity runs deep at William Penn.
Not only in the student body, which is made up of people from all over the world,
but also in the diverse opportunities for hands-on learning.
The equipment you get to use is legit. The experiences here will help me get a job when I graduate.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
William Penn University. Make a statement, be a statesman.
Oskaloosa. It's our community, and we're thankful to be a part of it. Telling its stories, sharing its smiles. We're building community, keeping you informed, giving you a voice, letting you know you're never alone during the victories and the losses, happiness and pain. For tomorrow's a new day, and we'll be there, working for you, ready to tell your story. That's our commitment. It's what we do. Now, and in the future. Because we're always on. We're Oskaloosa News.
Welcome back, Statesman Nation. We're going to preview a whole docket, because that's a word. Jared has noticed a full docket of games. Actually, not too entirely crazy, but like I said, we are in crossover season now officially,
busy.
with basketball starting up as well. So before we get to the winter sports, talk a little bit of football. Let's talk some soccer, all that. Starting with football, Rock and Ladder is up for grabs once again this Saturday. And Grandview is Grandview. Grandview is number 4 in the nation, one of the best teams out there. And so far they've taken on all comers and handled them. They did show a little bit of vulnerability last week against a really strong Culver-Stockton pass offense. And honestly, Culver statistically should have beat them. They lost Grandview won 21-18, but Culver rolled them, but they had 4 turnovers in the end, just couldn't finish off the drive. So again, there might be something, not that we're a passing team, but maybe they're showing a little bit of something that they've got some chinks in their armor. So really balanced attack for Grandview. Johnny Sullivan has passed for over 1,000 yards. He's rushed for over 300 as their QB, but it's all about defense with them. Second overall in opponent rushing yards, 3rd overall in total yards with only 230 average. So it's going to be tough sledding for the Statesmen. But you know what? Again, rivalry game, so throw it all out the window and then see who can come out with more emotion, and that might be what happens. So
yeah, this is a road game for the Statesmen, so already a little tougher going on the road. It was 2 years ago we won the Rock and Ladder Trophy. So there's some guys on this team still that have known what it's like to win it and know what it's like to lose it.
Exactly.
So they've seen both sides of the coin, and they really know what this game's all about. And I think it's so important for those leaders to step up and kind of show them how important this game really is. It's a rivalry game, and all things kind of go out the window in rivalry games. But I look for the Statesmen. Charles said, we're gonna go out there and we're just gonna play Statesman football.
Yep.
We're gonna run it at them hard. It's going to come down to the defense, I think, though. The defense has to come up with some big plays. You saw Courtney Hork last week, come up with the big pick six. I feel as though the Statesmen are going to need to have something along the lines of something like that to really get them going and get the emotions high, get the emotions going, and special teams too. We've heard Coach Hafner talk about special teams, all year long. We need a big play from special teams. I just think we need one of those too, and just really control the ball, control time of possession, and that sort of things. I think Statesmen have a legitimate shot in this game, considering we haven't lost in 4 games.
Yeah, and again, with Culver coming up and pushing a Grandview team, you start thinking, well, all right, there is a chance. And Alex Grehan has been running the offense pretty dang well. And he's also thrown well, which obviously we're not going to throw a ton, but Grandview's going to prepare thinking, all right, we're going to have to put guys, the secondary, scoot them up, and make sure we make the right runs to take out whoever is running the ball. So there's going to be a chance every once in a while to throw it, and if Culver did that successfully, there's a chance you can every once in a while pop off that play action pass for a big gain, and that will be big. And I think you're right. Defense will be the key. They've done a great job the past few games of locking down opponents and creating some turnovers. Clayton Norberg's got the turnover chain going, and he adds a link every time there is a turnover. And so I bet he's hoping to add a couple more this Saturday, and we'll see if the defensive line can get a good push.
Yeah,
anything's possible.
Yeah, and I think an important piece to this defensive recipe is the not just the secondary. We have a fairly young secondary, but the linebacking core. You got your Jace Neubauer, who seems to be in on almost every play, just making tackles right and left, and you have a guy like JT who can drop back into coverage a little bit and also come off the edge and rush. So I think that's will be a big key to their success.
Yeah, well, and haven't mentioned this, but unfortunately we're going to be playing without our best pass rusher, Rashawn Coleman, who injured his knee last weekend, and hopefully it's not as serious as we're thinking, but he's definitely not available. So that's a huge loss there in trying to get some pressure on Johnny Sullivan. Another component to this is with our unfortunate 0-3 start, this game now is from here on out, and it has been from week 4. You got to win. You can't afford to lose anymore. And I mean, even if we would lose this one and win the rest of them, and Grandview would somehow trip up or something like that, 6-4-1 is not going to put you. Excuse me. Yeah, 6-4-1 is not going to put you in the playoffs. This is our best chance. We have to win here, and then fortunately, the rest of the road is a lot easier. But
that's something that can maybe even play in our favor. The fact that this is almost a do or die game. They're kind of cruising right now. Not saying they don't have much to play for. The Rocky Ladder is a rivalry game. They're going to come out with everything they got, but at the same time, their backs are not completely up against the wall.
They've almost won the North at this point.
Yeah.
So why?
Right.
Yeah.
After this game, all they have left is 3 games that honestly they should be favored by 50 points, if not more.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have an easy road after this, and so they could already start looking at the playoffs, and maybe they could overlook us. I don't think it'll happen, being it's a rock and ladder game, and they really, really don't want to lose to us just as bad as we really don't want to lose to them. But
yeah, and just talking about the Rashawn Coleman injury, don't want to harp on that too much, but it's just another opportunity for somebody to come in and step up, and why not step up on the biggest stage of the season that they're going to play in, and look forward to seeing somebody come out there. We don't know what the game plan is exactly, who's going to fill in for Rashawn or how they're going to move some different pieces around possibly, but I look forward to a good effort for the Statesmen, no matter who's on the field, to be honest with you. I mean, this team's rolling right now. They're playing with a lot of energy, a lot of intensity. Last week's Graceland game really found themselves again in the second half and finished it off.
Yeah, for sure. So again, Grandview on Saturday up in Des Moines. Men's soccer, or talk about women's volleyball.
Yeah, women's volleyball. A couple of big games, and they're big games. They are literally playing for their postseason lives.
They have to win. They cannot afford to lose.
They have to win. They're playing number 11 Grandview in Des Moines.
Right.
Grandview is 22-9. But the Statesmen have proved that they can push them a little bit.
Yep.
And, with these, we're going to talk about rivalry games and, talk about when teams are backed up against the wall. Anything can happen. And this team has proven they can take a step, and they've proven they can compete with them. I think it's just a matter of the Statesmen, coming out hot like they did against Clark, and coming out well as they did against Grandview in the first game that they played with them. And just finishing, just realizing, hey, we got this team right where we want them. We gotta end it.
Yeah.
And if they can do that, and go on the road to Grandview and pull out a win, then you got Mount Mercy on Tuesday. That's at home.
Senior night.
So, you got a lot of things to play for there, especially those seniors. Mount Mercy's 18-10, another team that Coach Cliff feels we match up well with, pretty similar. I feel as though they're pretty similar to Clark. And who knows what can happen? I mean, crazier things have happened, especially in this conference and in the NAIA. This team is more than capable of coming out with a couple of wins and backdooring it into the playoffs.
Yeah, you saw in that first and third set the other day that they can, when they are executing at the highest level, play really, really good volleyball. And if they can execute a majority of the time for the game, it's not going to be perfect. But if they can do it majority of the game, there's more than enough chance, as you said.
Yeah, and both these teams, Grandview and Mount Mercy, have dropped some games that they probably shouldn't have dropped.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, anything can happen. This is, I call it the Wild Wild West, but it's a Wild Midwest.
Yeah, exactly. I fully expect that, hope, let's go with that the seniors, knowing that this is their last chance, last weekend, potentially could be the end, and they just go out and lay it all on the line and say, you know what, if I'm going to finish it, I'm going to finish it strong, and we finish it on my terms and all that. I did it my way. If we're going to talk about Frank Sinatra show and all that, so yeah, let's hope that they finish out strong and they have nothing left on the court and all that. So, all right, want to talk about women's soccer first?
So women's soccer going up against Evangel, as we said, as both soccer is doing senior day this Saturday. So hope everyone can come out and support that. Evangel both games, and for the women, we'll see what happens. I don't know if Lillian Kuka Fountain or Zoe Ganley are good to go. I haven't really heard anything.
I haven't heard either.
Hopefully they're set to go. Riley Lugwaite's told us that she's ready to return, so that's really good.
Make it happen one way or another. She doesn't care.
Yeah, she's going to play in her last home game, which is great, especially with her parents coming out. So have the starting goalie back in net, which Maybe we'll get some confidence in defense. And we'll have to see. It will be a hard game. I mean, the Statesmen are, for the most part, out of the postseason tournament unless they win two and everyone.
They're out because they've already lost tiebreakers everybody.
The record-wise it was not looking good, but a chance to play for something at home on senior day, and a couple of the seniors maybe they can get some good action and really make a statement. They are going up against Evangel, which is 6-1-2, third in the Heart, so it will be a hard battle, and I'm sure Evangel is going to be looking to solidify their spot in that tournament because they don't want to fall and end up playing someone above them. So it will be a battle, and we'll see how the Statesmen respond and getting a couple people back.
Yeah.
See how they play.
See here. All right. Then you got the. Sorry, you're not done. You still have Missouri Valley next Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
And we have Missouri Valley next Wednesday on the road.
As you said, we have Missouri Valley. That will end the year for both teams. Missouri Valley is, I think they are 4th or 5th in the standings.
I think they might be down a smidge or two lower, but either way, it's solid team.
The women's team isn't a fluke.
Yeah.
The men's team obviously is really good as well, but both of them are still right in the mix of it, so it will be hard. One of the longer road trips for the Statesmen to take. So we'll see, but it'll be the last game of the year for them. As we said, they're not going to postseason on the women's side, so hopefully they can finish strong and really make some strides to give some confidence to those younger players going into next season.
Exactly. All right, nightcaps for both of those nights. The men will finish off senior day again for the men, and what better way than to just beat the crud out of the Crusaders. So they're one of the worst teams in the conference. Again, not trying to bash them, but they're one that we just need to go out and win, get up big, give some other people a chance to play. I don't think there's a whole lot of seniors that don't play. This is a pretty good senior class, so hopefully everybody gets an opportunity to play. And they can rest a little bit. Stay healthy is going to be the biggest part. So take care of business on Saturday, and then you got a really big one against Missouri Valley. Like I said, we're number 18 in the MRPI, and Missouri Valley is number 19. So this is a win that you get it. Now all of a sudden, hopefully you're in the top 16, and I think the way we understand it is top 16, and if they accept your host bid, the NAIA, then you take care of business, do enough in the postseason tournament. Now you're going to nationals, and you're hopefully hosting one of those opening round regionals, opening round tournaments where you have 3 teams and everything. So, which would be huge because you only have to win one game at opening round, 2 first 3, and then whoever winner of that plays 1. So, anyway, big game there. Missouri Valley was at one time ranked number 1. They've fallen on hard times, but they're starting to come back and get their footing again. So they're going to want to mess with us. They're going to want to solidify their own nationals resume. So that's going to be a really tough one. That'd be a huge feather in the hat for William Penn. See if we can get it. So that'll end out the year, and then they go to postseason.
Missouri Valley is not going to be an easy game. They're kind of looking to solidify themselves for a bigger national bid themselves.
Yeah.
And so you got a couple of teams that are trying to solidify themselves in the national title hunt picture. And just going back to what you said about perhaps hosting a national bid, there's not, I don't think, not much of a better place to host a bid than Dross Field. I mean, it's a beautiful place, but hopefully the guys can get it done and we can get that. I mean, that'd be huge, not only for the program but for our school, I think, to be able to do that.
No, I think that place would be rocking if in a couple weeks. It's actually just under a month, so it's a while down the road. But
got to take care of business. Can't put the cart in front of the horses, as you'd say. But Missouri Valley isn't going to be easy. I'm looking for the guys to go out there and take care of business, though, like they have all year.
Yeah, and it would be the second year in a row that they beat Missouri Valley, which would be probably a first, would be my guess.
I would guess so. I mean, they've since we've been in the Heart, outside of, I think, one game, we've given Missouri Valley fits. Like, we've matched up pretty well against them.
Yeah, and Missouri Valley is going to be frustrated. I don't know if they had injuries, and that's why they're down, or maybe it was just turnover. They lost some guys. I don't remember off the top of my head who was on and now off the team from last year, but there's a reason they've gone to 2, maybe 3 straight national title games.
Yeah,
and unfortunately they've lost, for them, they've lost all 3 of them. So I'm sure at some point back in their brain, they're like, no, we're going to get back to this. So this will be the final test of the Statesman team And if they can go down there on the road, beat Missouri Valley, that would be the cap to a fantastic season and really show the NAIA that they belong in the top 16 and that they deserve to host, and hopefully more to the point, they deserve to go on to that final site and really compete with the top teams in the nation.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we'll see what men's soccer does down the pipe. Cross country, they will be at the up in Cedar Rapids on Saturday. NAIA Seminole Valley Stampede, one of the more interesting names for a meet, but Mount Mercy hosts it, and just a lot of really strong NAIA teams will be up there. And unfortunately, our teams are really banged up right now, so I don't know exactly who Coach Goswich is going to be sending up there. The women's team might, unfortunately, again be shy of a full team, so we'll see. But they're nursing a whole lot of injuries and some other unfortunate things. So I guess we'll see what happens. It'll be the regular season finale, one final tune-up before the conference meet in 3 Saturdays from now. So we'll see. Men's basketball.
Yeah, men's basketball getting it going on Sunday against Presentation. They open the season as number 4 in the NAIA rankings. They're picked to win the Heart of America, reclaim the title after they finished 3rd last year, but had won the 3 previous titles. So we'll see what this men's basketball team has in store. I know the coaches are pretty high on this team and what they can do. A little bit younger this year, but they're super impressed with the athleticism that this team brings. I mean, we have guys that can coming out the bench, starters that just bring a great deal of athleticism, and then you got you got some guys that were here last year that redshirted that have kind of learned the Statesman way and the system, and we're gonna see the typical run and gun Statesman offense. Just getting up and down the court, creating turnovers, and just really controlling the pace of play. And you saw that a little bit. You saw some flashes of it in the scrimmage with Southeastern last week. You're going to see it again tonight, I'm sure, in their scrimmage with Indian Hills. Nate Gehring looked really good, I thought, in that scrimmage with Southeastern. He was able to space the floor for a big man and get down and finish strong at the rim. Saw some good things out of Dexter Hood, point guard, Jared Peel, another guard. Saw some really good things from the Statesman team, and I expect they're going to be right there in the thick of things. In the Heart of America and in the NAIA in general. I mean, there's a reason this team is picked so high, and I know the coaches are saying, we just want to focus on ourselves. We kind of want to, not look at the rankings too much, not look into it, just focus on ourselves and what we got to do to get better as a team. Because, like I said, there's a lot of new faces. There's still a lot of things to learn, and but a good opportunity on Sunday to open it up with a bang against Presentation.
Yeah. I know they definitely, the coaching staff, that is, I feel like we're overhyped a little bit, but you know what? Overhyped is better than underhyped, is what they've been saying, and excited to, have the target on the back again and see what they're going to do. But guarantee there will be a lot of dunking this year. There will be a lot of fast break points, and hopefully the guys just get after it and bulldog a little bit. And speaking of that, that's going to happen on the women's side, so let's switch it over and talk about the women. They're opening up next Tuesday against Tabor. It's an NAIA Division II team. Coach Williamson says he's never played them before. He has no idea really what to expect, but going to try them out and see what they are. The team's 25th in the nation, probably a little lower than they were expecting to be after what we did last year. But when you lose Vashi Wabarocha, everybody else in the conference felt like, well, what's this team left? Mm-hmm. I think there's going to be a lot left. A lot of really good talent back, but recruiting-wise, they went out and scoured the planet and found a whole bunch of good athletes. And it sounds like it's going to be a different squad this year as far as how we attack. Could be a lot more points coming from the outside versus because you don't have Vashti down there in the paint. But expect that the team is going to work their tail off on defense, and that's going to be the trademark, and keeping a lot of squads under 60 points. And it might not always be, it's not going to be 100 to, 80 like basketball team or men, excuse me, but they're going to win a lot of games, 65, 55, I bet, and win a lot of games, period.
Yeah, and we've talked about it. The loss of Vashi, obviously, it's not going to be easy to fill those shoes, but this is a system that Coach Williamson has, and that system is, tight defense and create turnovers and hit shots at the other end. It sounds so simple, but if you watch this team play and watch this team practice, you know, it's so technical the way that they play and the way they're able to wear you down, and at the end just pull. We saw it so many times last year. You know, we kind of, you know, jostle with the team back and forth the first half, second half, come out and just make those necessary adjustments and really blow them out of the water.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we have returning All-American in Katie Lotella. She's coming back for her senior season. What a season she had last year. You know, I look for her to improve. And then, you know, Brenda Pennington, you know, not somebody that on the stat sheet's going to jump out to you, but the way she runs the offense is just, it's awesome. And I look for her to assert herself on the offensive end maybe a little more this year, rather than feeding the ball in down low. There's some pieces down low as well, though. So let's look for this team to, you know, I think this team's going to look very similar to last year.
Yeah.
And I'm the new guy here.
You haven't even seen him play, so you're just guessing.
Played or seen William Penn basketball. The only thing I've seen is them demolish my old alma mater, Vanguard, last year in the opening round of the tournament. So, whoops. But I'm excited. Vanguard is a big basketball school. They don't have football, so it's kind of in the gym. That's where all the students come out and support. So I'm excited. Even there was a huge crowd at the scrimmage.
Yeah.
The last, what was that, Sunday, Saturday, Wednesday? Whatever.
Wednesday. One of those days.
Days
are going by way too fast.
It was a day of the week.
Yeah, it was a day of the week.
But to see a big crowd out there for just a scrimmage, fantastic. I am excited to get to know these players, get to watch them, see how these teams develop. A lot of success here at William Penn. And to go to another great basketball school is really exciting for me. And I'm along for the ride. I'm all in. Let's go and see where this team, both of them, can go, because a couple championships for the women, the men looking to get back into it. Basketball season is a great time in college sports, and I'm excited to see that gym rocking.
Yeah, it should be really exciting. Both teams, high expectations, but that's exactly where they want them to be. You want to have the target on your back versus having to chase everybody and look up the standings. So looking down on people is okay every once in a while. So. All right, guys. I think that's everything. Go ahead. I'm missing something.
Women's golf, just a quick note, done till spring.
Right.
So that was the last thing, the Hart preview. So the long winter waits, and then we'll see how they come out with a fresh squad, or not new face, not fresh as in new, but refreshed and working throughout the winter whenever they can. And then bowling, they have this weekend off, and then the next weekend will be their next bid. So the other sports are almost all off now.
Yeah. And wrestling starts up in a couple weeks. That's why we're not talking about them yet. And then obviously track for winter sports is way down the road in early December, if they even have one in December. So anyhow, it should be an exciting week. Let's see if we can get that. If we do, when we do, we'll bring the Rock and Ladder trophy into the studio next week. So we'll have it. All right, for Jared Goodman and Justin Burtis, I'm Wade Steinloggy. Once again, thanks to Ken and Ginger, also of Oskaloosa News, for allowing us to use their studio here in wonderful Penn Central Mall. Soon we're going to have X throwing. I was thinking this week, but
it'll be tonight.
Tonight. Well, tonight, there you go. So when you guys catch this, I don't think you probably get in over there, but soon come over to Penn Central Mall, and if you can't do some axe throwing, go right across the way and play some arcade games. Check out Mi Ranchito, Pizza Ranch, whatever. Do some shopping here in Penn Central Mall. So
come buy a picture from Oski News.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Well, thanks again. You're inside the playbook. Until next week, go Statesman.